Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of exploring the tarot together, connecting the tarot cards with Kim Kranz's World Unknown Archetypes deck. So I'm going to draw a card for the day from my Pagan Otherworlds deck. Right, let's go with the Knight of Wands. It's so interesting to me that I seem to be drawing all the court cards in this series, as well as a few major arcana and a few other cards, but yeah, it's been mainly court cards. The Knight of Wands. Beautiful energy there. Okay, let's draw an Archetypes card and see what connections we can make. Wow, the King. Right, so we've got the Knight of Wands and the King. It's quite a fiery looking card. Alright, so let's see what Kim Kranz has to say about the King. The ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king presides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognise the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you toward peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is a death of ego. Benevolence, divine leadership, service, nobility. And the other side of that is oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. Wow. Well, you know, it's interesting because on the face of it, obviously the Knight of Wands is not the king. He serves the king. He's a servant of the king. He's a loyal and faithful, almost messenger of the king. He's a representative of this sort of archetype. The Knight of Wands, out of all the knights, I would say, is the one that is the most fiery, the most passionate. When I see the Knight of Wands in a reading, it's often talking about following your desires. Something that really stood out to me in Kim Kranz's description was about making decisions. Obviously, a king on his throne needs to make lots of decisions around how he rules, how he governs the land, what is allowed and what isn't allowed. And the Knight of Wands is very much about that decision making too. It's about taking charge of your own energy and time, looking at where you're focusing your energy and making best use of it, and where you're scattering your energy and not aligning to your passions, to who you're truly meant to be. The Knight of Wands is all about aligned action, and as a fiery knight, if you are aiming at something with a weapon of fire that isn't a true target for you, it's a waste of your energy, and it's also potentially quite fateful. It can be lethal for someone else or for you. it can cause real damage if you are churning all of your energy and time into something that isn't truly aligned with you. And for me, that's really where the oppression comes in, where that darker side of the king comes in. So I suppose for me, the Knight of Wands is really like a precursor to that king energy, isn't he? He's all about making the right decisions. Are you acting from a place of alignment and authenticity within yourself? Are you firing in the right directions? Are you following the passions and desires that most line up with your spirit? If you are, then you're on the path to becoming a kind of ruler of your own life and a leader who is acting from a place of egolessness, and will be able to lead in a very inspiring way. But if you're not, if you're misfiring, and if you're kind of directing your attention into things that haven't been well thought out, haven't been considered, aren't aligned with who you really are, all the way down to actually, just doing things that are deceitful to yourself and to others. If you're lying to yourself about who you really are, or what you should be doing, that is the precursor to becoming a king who is an oppressor, who is tyrannical, whether that's a kind of tyranny that you put on yourself or a tyranny that you put on others, and often it's both, isn't it? Because it all begins inside and then it reflects on the outside. And so that's really what this is representing to me. It's about focus and intention of alignment. That's really what's coming through. I suppose some questions around that are, are you living in a way that feels aligned with your values? Are you even aware of what your values are? Have you made some decisions about what you stand for in life? Have you made decisions about who you want to be, what you want to do? Do those things line up? How is your reality reflecting those values and beliefs that you want to hold? Are you aligning all of those things together, or are they all scattered all over the place? Can somebody tell what kind of a person you are and the character of who you are from the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis? If not, then it's time to course correct. Get back into alignment so that one day you will become that leader who is inspiring others and a shining beacon of leadership. So I hope that was helpful and insightful. Thank you for watching.